There is a lot of confusion when it comes to CELPIP speaking, how do you score a 9 or 10 or more, and why some students never even come close to those scores. The samples you see online are really confusing, and some of them, unfortunately, are very deceiving. But we're going to clear all that confusion in this video. We'll look at some samples and analyze everything, including vocabulary, pauses, structure, words that help you cross a 7, then cross a 9, and then the perfect version of CELPIP speaking. This is the video you need if you're struggling with CELPIP speaking. I'm gonna play your first sample here, all right? This sample, this kind of answer is in a lot of places online. I'm not gonna take the names of those places, but these places claim if you speak like this, you're gonna score 9+. So is that legit? Let's figure it out. This is a snippet, so this is a short 20 to 30 second answer. Let's listen to this, then we'll analyze this.
Hi, Jonathan. How are you? Look, I understand you want to find a job, right? Now, there's lots of things you can do. You can apply on LinkedIn. I mean, there's so many people there who are employers, and they are good. You know, they can help you really well.
So, what do we have here? We have, first of all, a little bit of intro, which is, you can say it's an intro. It then goes on to the point about LinkedIn, but you never realize when that happened. So that's a structural problem. There was nothing like, hey, I got a few suggestions for you. Firstly, do this. That is the proper flow from intro to your description. The examiner should be able to see you're going from intro to the body, the main ideas, and then the conclusion. The structure here was missing. I never realized when it went from, hey, you have these problems, and then LinkedIn came all of a sudden. Tone was monotone. There's no expression, there's no excitement, doesn't feel at all that I'm talking to a real person. Then there are the fillers. You know, I mean, you cannot have fillers. There's 2 of them that I captured here. Then there are ums. There's and There's thinking going on, and while you're thinking, you're saying ums. The best way to avoid it and replace it is, instead of saying ums, just pause. Just pause 1 to 2 seconds, and that's completely fine. In that space, that was about 1 second where I was doing that I could have paused, shows confidence, it's a good tone, and that would, again, help me improve my mark. Now, if you've heard something like this online, and this sample is claimed to be 9+, forget about it. This is nowhere close to 9. We see people speak and give exams day in and day out. We have hundreds of people every week giving exams. This is not a 9+ at all. Please stop believing in these kinds of samples. This is not it. I would score this 7. Grammar was good. There's no mistake grammatically. Vocab was basic, and then all the other mistakes that I pointed out, and the structure was missing. Task response was most likely spot on because it is giving suggestions on your job, and this is part 1 speaking where you're supposed to give suggestions. But this is not a 9+. This is 7. So what is a 9+? Well, let's play another sample and see if that hits what we're looking for.
Hey, Jonathan. I hope you're well. Look, I understand you're looking for a job, and it's hard these days in this economy, but I got a few suggestions for you. Firstly, try going on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a solid network of employers who are looking to find the best talent. You, with your amazing LinkedIn profile, will outshine everybody else and get their attention.
3 things, 3 instant improvements. Number 1 is the use of adjectives. Your amazing resume, and there was also the mention of you will outshine, which is not an adjective, it is a verb, but it is more advanced. So there's more versatile use of vocabulary. Secondly, the tone. There was a little giggle at the start when I was saying, hey, it's really difficult to find jobs. There was also the fluctuation of volume. It felt like I was naturally engaging with this person. And that is how you're supposed to be. You're supposed to not be a robot. You're supposed to be interacting with the given people in each speaking question. And that's what makes CELPIP different than IELTS and other exams, because it is focused on natural conversation, which means your tone should be focused on natural conversation. The third thing is the clear structure. If I ask you, where was the intro and where was the body? You can clearly tell me. All right, the intro was the first 10-15 seconds where it was, hey, I know job market is tough, it's hard, and you're looking for a job, but don't worry, I got a few suggestions. That's the intro. The body is firstly, do this, and then again, and this is another fourth major improvement, I should have said 4 things. The way I'm describing this point, the firstly point, is with more examples. Look, LinkedIn has a network of employers. You, with your brilliant resume, your amazing experience, you can outshine others. So there is the causality. Look, there is this condition. If you do this, this will happen. So you always have to explain the rationale behind your points, not just, hey, go there, apply for a job, but why and how. Always give explanations, and that makes your task response better. This attempt will easily score 10 or higher, okay? 10 or higher. So if you want 9 plus, 10 plus, that's the usual requirement, you want to speak like this. This is the sample you should be looking for, and it's free of grammar mistakes too. That's the level that is 9 plus easily, and 10 for sure. 10 plus, I don't know about that. It doesn't have any mistakes, but can it still go 11 to 12? There is a little difference between a 12 out of 12 point speaker and the sample you just heard. So let's look at what the perfect sample looks like, and let's see if you're able to figure out what the differences are.
Hey, Jonathan, I hope you are well. I understand you're looking for a job, which in today's market is exceptionally demanding, but I got a few suggestions for you, luckily. Firstly,
Before we lose track, look at the words that are being used here. It's exceptionally demanding, a combination of adverb and adjective. It's also advanced, so I have my range of vocab, and the vocab is, in itself, advanced. It's unique wordings. And then the way I finished this thought was luckily. Like, I got a few suggestions for you. Luckily. Using adverbs is going to give you a big range, and most people don't use this. So here we see more range. We see a slightly more exaggerated version of the tone, which is also good. The more tone and more natural or realism you can show, the better. Let's continue.
Are a well-credentialed guy. Go make a profile about yourself on LinkedIn. Of course, it's no walk in the park to get an employer's attention on LinkedIn, but if someone can, that's you.
You are a well-credentialed guy. I could have easily said you're qualified. That's good. But well-credentialed, advanced wordings. And if you are not good on vocab, you should be as much as possible. And I'll tell you why you should be aiming for a 12 and not a 10. I'll tell you that at the end of this video. But you can learn our vocab with our vocab lessons. We have more than an hour of that content, plus some really good features in the link in the description. Check it out. It is right now at a huge discount, plus comes with a lot of lessons. Now, after the well-credentialed, there was a phrase. It's no walk in the park. This is an idiomatic expression. The CELPIP examiner marking scheme says clearly use idiomatic expressions where you can. So if you know them, if you can, use them. They always help with your marks. And at the end, there was a phrase. If anyone can do it, that's you, or it's you. This phrase fits naturally, but it's also not a very generic phrase. I'm sure you can do it. You should be able to do it. It's something unique, something natural and advanced, and that is again going to give you that range of grammatical accuracy and range of a vocab. Now let's talk about what you can do with this information, because this answer feels overwhelming. Should you aim for it? Like, should you go for 12 out of 12? That might require you more time before booking the exam to learn all these skills. But again, you should technically, because in the real exam, let's say you do all these advanced things, you're also going to be making some grammar mistakes. Or let's say you have a few slips, some ums, or missing task response that will bring your score down. So if you have really advanced vocab and range that pushes your score up, you have some things that bring your score down. Now from 12, you go to 10. That's why aiming for the highest is always the best approach. However, if this intimidates you, that's fine. Just aim for the 10 version. Mistake proof, clarity, and using advanced stuff as much as possible. And again, it's a learning process. If you can learn more stuff like this, complex sentences, adjectives range before your exam, try your best to. Also remember, with all that said, you want to make sure you're also natural. Make sure these things fit in naturally whenever you're speaking. But sometimes if it's too natural and too basic, you want to try to force in some advanced words and be conscious. Where can I use an adverb? Where can I use an adjective? Where can I use an idiomatic expression? But again, to make things easy for you, all of this is explained in our CELPIP 15-hour self-paced course that you can check out in the description. Comes with a money-back guarantee, no questions asked. That's it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. And I hope you got a better understanding of your CELPIP speaking.